Hello, hi, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everybody. So, I welcome all of you to this day two of my time, which is the time between the World Meditation Day to International Day of Yoga. So, today I am joining from Bangalore. I'm Prithvi, and I'm really excited for the day two of my time. This is the time which is actually meant to be with our own selves and for our personal growth and for, to actually prioritize ourselves. So I'm really so happy to see all of us joining early in the morning in India and from different times in the other part of the globe and taking out time for ourselves, prioritizing for ourselves and meditating. So, thank you so much. And I welcome all the participants and the team to this My Time, which is organized by IFSS, partnered with PSSM Globally. So, day one, we just looked into the very important topic science of observation, and we were guided through the meditation what should be the attitude and the mindset when we start meditating. And Sampit took us into the meditation so well, and Rashmi dealt with this most important topic, which is observation. Through observation, we all can actually create a distance from our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings, and we can actually see things as they are. So it helps us to get more clarity. And the beautiful point of observation was as we become more observing, we start getting control over our actions. So, this is such an important thing which we need to practice. So, for the next 31 days, including today, we're going to practice this observation, the act of observation, where we observe our natural and normal breath and we improve the skill of observation in our life. So, today, we have yet another interesting topic, which is the science of meditation. We all know how to meditate. We went through the steps of meditation yesterday, but today we will be understanding the science part of it. Why do we meditate in that certain way? So, before we get into the topic, we shall meditate first for the 40 minutes. And to guide us through this meditation, I request our meditation master, Sharath, who is an IT professional and been meditating since 2 decades. And he's been our dear friend, a mentor. And today we have him on board taking us through the meditation. Hi, Sharath.
Hey, good morning, good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, Sharath, very clear.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prithvi. It was a beautiful introduction into the second day or the third day of my time. I think it's second day. If you look at
Right.
first day is 0. So let's start getting into the meditative mood, right? Before we get into meditation. So I would say, um, please collect yourself. Leave all the thoughts which are happening now. There is no urgency, nothing. We have to completely devote our time at this time for meditation. So we have to get into that meditation. So please feel comfortable quickly in the next 10 to 15 seconds. Find a place where we can be already there. I understand, but be comfortable. Collect yourself. Adjust the postures, whichever is comfortable for you, sitting on a chair or sitting on a floor, on a mat, whether you are sitting folded legs or grounded onto the floor, no problem. You can keep your spine erect or you can actually make it more comfortable while leaning also is okay. So whichever is comfortable, please find that posture fully. There is no hurry. Feel relaxed already. More the body is relaxed, mind gets relaxed. So feel relaxed. Have a simple smile on the face. Very simple. So we are getting into a wonderful observation mode. If you have specs or something you're wearing, please take it out. You can dim the lights of the room if possible. Feel very relaxed, completely relaxed. Don't close your eyes yet. We are going to do a simple Ana-Pana-Sati meditation. Very simple. So once you've found your posture, cross your fingers. We make a circuit because we are going to get lot of cosmic energy into your body. So we want to preserve it. Just and then slowly close your eyes. Relaxed, no hurry, slowly. Don't trap any light. Just slowly close your eyes. And while closing your eyes, fix your gaze, the side in between the eyebrows. Just fix it there. Try to be there. Feel relaxed. Relaxation is the key. Completely relaxed. Take 5 seconds time to get into this mode. Now, how wonderfully our breath is happening on its own. Inhalation, exhalation. It's happening on its own. Simple, soft, tender breath. At this time, bring your attention and focus to your breath as it is happening. Feel relaxed. Please do not alter your breath. No pranayama, nothing. Just observe your breath. Relax. Nothing to do. No urgent work. No thoughts to make. Complete attention to your breath. If possible, start with inhalation. After you exhale, wait for inhalation to start on its own and be with the breath. Mind will settle down slowly with this practice. relax. As we do this, yes, there will be some distractions, primarily thoughts. They starts popping up. No problem. Cut the thoughts. Don't follow it. Come back to your breath. Make your mind distraction free. Feel relaxed. No tightening of the body. More the body is relaxed, mind is relaxed. We will have a light background music to keep you in this state. No visualization, no thoughts. Feel relaxed. Come back to your breath. The most beautiful thing happening. Your breath. Fix your gaze in between the eyebrows. Observe your breath. Let's make mind free of distraction. Come back to your breath. Relax. There will be sensation on the body, itching, pain. Take notice of it, but come back to your breath. Feel relaxed. All background sounds will deepen your meditation. Whatever comes to your awareness, accept it and come back to breath. Relax. There will be so many things in our awareness, but focus on breath. Be with your breath. More we are aware, less we are distracted. Be in this state for next several minutes. Excellent. Relax. Last 5 minutes. Last 3 minutes. Last 2 minutes. Relax. Last 1 minute. Thirty seconds. Five, four, three, two, one. Rub your palms. Keep it on your eyelids. Now slowly open your eyes. This is a wonderful time to meditate. Excellent. Thank you, Masters. It was wonderful meditation. Over to you, Prithvi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharath. That was really very relaxing, very, very deep meditation. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking us through this deep meditation. So, friends, I hope all of us are back from meditation. You can take your time and be totally up and alert so that we can get into the topic of the day, which is science of meditation. So, to take us through this topic, we have a special speaker for the day, which is Rakesh Jalumane. And Rakesh is an entrepreneur, a former delivery director at Cognizant, and now he is a trustee at Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation. So, having learned meditation with Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation in 2020, and having seen a significant transformation in both personal and professional lives with his sincere and extensive practices, Rakesh shares the vision of the foundation and has joined the foundation immediately. So he actively teaches meditation and manifestation, the science through various programs of the foundation, apart from doing several other service activities. So currently, Rakesh is a co-founder and CTO of a software technology company called Quantum Coherence Technologies that's building meditation software to accelerate adoption of meditation worldwide. Such a wonderful uh, job and initiation. So very happy to have you, sir. Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Patri.
Welcome to my time, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Welcome,
Yeah. So we are
everybody. Yes.
really, really excited to learn the science. We have been meditating since 2 days now. Today is the third day that we meditated, and we have learned how to meditate. But we are really wanting to know why we are using this and what is the science behind it. So please take us through it, sir.
Sure. Wonderful. Yes, it's so simple to learn, isn't it? You just need 2 minutes. Learn this technique called breath mindfulness meditation or Ana-Pana-Sati. I used to wonder when people started saying, joined similar program about 4 years ago in my company. People started sharing their experience that they had so much of transformation. They had healed their, different conditions. They had so much of relationship transformation. They said they started manifesting. I used to wonder the technique and what we are doing is so simple. Can it be so much powerful? It's the analytical minds, people who've been starting. For me, that program was the first introduction into meditation. I didn't know anything about meditation. I had heard about it. I had some lot of myths about it that, okay, I had to go somewhere, sit in a secluded spot, spend a lot of years and years and years with giving up everything. That's what I'd heard. So I was actually curious when I got this program from my company. In fact, it was in my company. Thinking it was just a 1 day session, I just joined that. A very, very, very busy person. When I heard this, my curiosity was so high. So I did that meditation. First day, the technique was shown, practiced it, but doing nothing different. Just observing my breath and not not trying to force my breath, not trying to do any special asanas. That's all I had heard about it. How can that be so powerful? My analytical mind kicked off and started wondering and then started doing my own research. Because some of it we learned through that program, the Quantum Foundation doing at that time. That's when I realized, yes, everything that is powerful is actually simple. This technique is so simple yet so powerful, and there is so much of science backing it. Let's understand this, friends, because what I have realized in the last 4 years, simple technique of meditation can bring huge transformation. After that first 40 days, what I realized was what I knew was very little, so much that there's a so different way of living our life so fully. I can attribute this meditation to so many of my changes in my life, including this starting of this company. I was always interested to be an entrepreneur. There's always that fear. What will happen? I had such a good job. I had done so much in my career. So if I had to move and change, what will happen? That fear was always there. So I healed all my health conditions. Suffer from migraine for years and years. I used to have severe bronchitis, having talking started. Many of these, but all of that went away. Many benefits that I could see from meditation. There's so much of science. What happens in our body? Why do we say that, you can manifest? Let's understand some of it. I just want to share a few slides. Hope this is visible. I'm grateful to Brahmarshi Patriji for bringing this simple technique of meditation, because he showed that this meditation technique can be there for everybody. But more importantly, he said this is actually a very scientific practice. Because for me, that was important. As a professional, lot of analytical mind, and I was always looking at ways to see how things happen, because my analytical mind had to be satisfied. Because beyond that, with meditation, we go beyond it. So let's understand this first about how our mind works, right? So most of us, when we are do our day-to-day activities, we have a very restless mind. Restless mind leads to a lot of negative thoughts. Some deadline at work or something at home, there's something to be done at home, and then there's so much, but at the same time you have some other priority that needs to be taken care of. Mind becomes restless, and you start thinking, oh, can this happen? Why is this happening? Why is this happening only to me? A restless mind is full of negative thoughts. Okay, so my colleague got promoted. What about me? What did I do? I had put in so much of effort. Why is this not happening to me? Most important, while this negative thoughts we all are aware, it's also a limiting mind. Limiting mind is something that stops us to live our life fully. In so much of our beliefs that, okay, I am only this, I can only do that. I'm not good at public speaking. Cannot be a good presenter. I cannot sing. I love music, but that's it. I'm, past this age. I can't sing anymore. Can't learn something new. How many of you have heard of it? Become old, so I can't learn. This is it. This is my way of living. So this limiting belief is something that stops us to live our life fully. Let's understand how our brain works, right? Just so that when we understand what happens when meditation, our brain has three parts. First, which is the bigger part, what is probably unique in the human beings, is called the neocortex, the conscious mind, where we see, we hear, we learn, all these five senses that we experience this life with, all are part of the neocortex. This is the conscious mind, responsible for our conscious thoughts, thinking, decision making, all of that is learning languages. All this part of this big part of the brain called neocortex, and responsible for all our conscious thinking. While this is the biggest part, the least used part of our brain is this. The second, and this is probably most relevant when we talk about our mind, is the limbic brain, or the emotional or the feeling brain. Also a long memory that, the brain that is responsible for long-term memory. All our emotions are captured here. A lot of our memories, past experiences, the beliefs that we carried, all of it becomes part of this limbic. Such a small portion of our brain. Yet 90 to 95% of our life we live through this brain. The reptilian brain is responsible for all our autonomous systems like breathing, the breathing, the heartbeats, all of it, right? So whatever that is, sometimes we call it as an unconscious mind, spiritual terms. So now the conscious mind, that neocortex, we have 12 to 50,000 thoughts every day. When we talk about restless mind, all this, we know all this thinking that we keep doing, we may not be aware of it. But research has shown that we do 12 to 50,000 thoughts every day. 80 to 95% of it is either negative or repetitive. Start going to work in the morning, I start driving, somebody just cuts you off, and then you start thinking, I'm so late already, there's so much of traffic, and why is this person coming and disturbing me? Doesn't he know that he cannot be interfering? Doesn't he know driving? I'm already late. My boss has been telling about this yesterday, and now this person has come. I'll be late, and you start repeating this, and that incident doesn't go off your mind even when you reach office, probably even later in the night, because you start telling your friends, oh, today morning, what happened? That person, he was so rude. He just came in, he started, interfering. I got late because of this person, and my day is gone. That one incident, but you keep repeating either in your mind or you start talking about it. So the restless mind is responsible for all this negative and repetitive. We keep repeating past incidents. Now, the limbic brain, which is responsible for all our long-term memory, right? It's also the subconscious mind. And this is where we carry all our beliefs. Beliefs that we carry about ourselves, about things around us. Incident would have happened in the past. Your boss would have said, this is not right. And you would have created a meaning for it, saying that, hey, that boss is not right. He's always biased. Carry that belief. Every interaction with your boss, you'll start telling, hey, this boss never is fair. Even if there is a genuine opportunity to learn from that critique, we lose it because we start creating that filter from our belief. The beliefs that we carry in this limbic brain, runs our life. 90% of what we live happens through this limbic brain. So, let me just talk about this a little more. For any change, any transformation that we need to have, we have to change our thoughts and beliefs. Everything that we operate out of. Quantum physics, we say 99.9999% is energy. We are energy. That energy field is full of infinite potentials, infinite possibilities. Everything that we create for ourselves starts with our thought. You want to build a house, first you start thinking, I want to have a house. And then you start attracting, or you start creating from there. The actions come out of it. The thoughts leads to feelings, which feels, okay, this is right for me. I really want to build a house. I want to experience this. I want to start saying, okay, now how do I do it? I start finding actions. Okay, I go looking at the properties. I start looking at who is the best builder. The thoughts lead to feelings, leads to actions, and which further creates new thoughts. Any reality that we want to create starts with a thought. Now, if most of our thought is negative and repetitive, what happens? Our life will continue to be the same. I want to be the leader. I want to be the best person that I can be. I want to learn music. If we have to change our reality around us, first thing that we have to do is change our thought. Change our thought, we have to change our belief. The belief that we carry is, I can't learn. I'm already 30-year-old, 35, 40-year-old. There's no way I can learn. I don't have time. That's a belief. I used to think when they started this program, and the program said every day we have to spend 75 minutes. I used to think, where will I get my time? I don't have time. I work from morning 8 to midnight, the global team. Where will I get time? I have absolutely no time for meditation. Friends, now I realize time is something that we can create for ourselves. Meditation actually helps you gain more time. Any change that we want to create for ourselves, first we have to change our thought and belief. And that's why it's important. When we start practicing important, we come with an open mind, learn. So what happens with meditation? With meditation, we empty our mind. You would have learned about it. So when we empty our mind, we start slowly detaching from all these past beliefs. These beliefs are formed based on our past experiences. For example, I carried this public speaking phobia, so-called. I couldn't speak in front of 10 people, except for my team, people whom I know, and that too only subjects that I knew. I couldn't speak in front of 10 people because somewhere in my younger days, I was trying to sing in front of people and somebody made fun of that. They may not have even made fun of me, but I carried it so personally, saying that, hey, I cannot do things in public. I'll be made fun of. That belief was so strong that I carried that all my life and said, this is true for any public speaking. The past experiences which are stored in the limbic brain, and meditation slowly starts working on those limbic brain. Starts reprogramming, that's changing those deep subconscious beliefs. Once we change us, start clearing our mind from all those past experiences. Meditation helps us to do that. To reprogram them, next step is to reprogram them. You have to bring in new beliefs. You have to create new beliefs. That comes from wisdom. Start learning new books, new wisdom. Today, when I say you need only, I sleep only for 4 hours. The belief we carry that we need 8 hours of sleep every day. You say, oh, is it possible? When you gain a new wisdom, you removed your old belief, start creating from a new wisdom, you start reprogramming. Oh, it's possible. I can create my own reality. The meditation plus wisdom transforms our thoughts and beliefs. Second aspect of how meditation helps. One, by reprogramming our beliefs, as I mentioned. Second, research has shown meditation actually physically and physiologically transforms our brain. Typically, we say we are operating either as a logical person or a creative person. How many of you have carried that belief that I'm either an analytical person or a creative person? I can be good at understanding, analyzing data, but I cannot be good at singing, dancing, all of that. I cannot be creative because there is a belief that been carried along saying that only we operate with one part of the brain. Part of the brain is analytical, the other part is responsible for creative activities. Now, research has shown, and this is a research by Sarah Laser, a neuroscientist based out of Harvard, US. She did a landmark study in 2005 and looked at how meditation is impacting our brain. People started saying there's a lot of changes that happens. She actually went ahead and did that study, and she found out that when people who practice meditation regularly for at least 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, she studied people who did this practice for about 6 to 8 weeks, and found the neocortex part of the brain actually, and many parts of the brain actually increased in size, changed in the size of the neural structure. Physiologically, physically. More importantly, what she found was there is something called corpus callosum that connects the two parts of the brain, the brain that is responsible for where we use most when we are analyzing, analytical thinking, learning, and all of it, versus the creative part of the brain. What she found, the connection between two hemispheres of the brain started becoming stronger, not just the neocortex, but the connection, this corpus callosum also increased in size. The connection between the two hemispheres strengthened. What does that mean? People who practice meditation starts using their whole brain, become more efficient in how they work. He said, yoga karmasa kaushalam, you become excellent through meditation. Because we use the whole faculties of our brain. And here, many meditation practitioners taking up new art form. Maybe good engineers or good analytical thinking professionals, but they start taking up art form, creative work, and not just creative work from art, but at work, you start becoming a lot more creative. There's a science behind it, because physically the brain changes. The second study, and this is an important finding from this research, is the limbic brain, as I was talking about, which is responsible for both our long-term memory as well as our emotions. Same part called amygdala. sometimes called as a fear center, because when there is a lot of stress, when there is a lot of fear, this part of the brain becomes very active. Stop thinking. How many of you have felt this? Suddenly there is a highly emotive situations. Suddenly you stop thinking, you start reacting, you start shouting, and or you could have many reactions to it. You either withdraw or start fighting. There may be no apparent reason, but suddenly just for you, you start reacting. That's because of this amygdala, because there is this fear center which starts creating the flight or fight response for us. Now, the study that Sarah Laser did, she found for long-term meditators, people, when I say long-term, people who practice regularly, at least 6 to 8 weeks, this part of the brain actually starts shrinking. When I started experiencing this, I started losing fear about my future. The company that I wanted to start, where I was, fearing what will happen, I started realizing, experiencing, I no longer had that fear. And the reason I realized was this: meditation helps us to bring that fear down. And there's a physical change that happens. And the other aspect, it increases what is called as hippocampus, the long-term memory portion of our brain. People start remembering. You would have seen students telling, I can learn more. I remember a lot more. So meditation physically and physiologically changes our brain, friends, which creates a positive impact in our working. And that it also, the studies have shown, let me show you the second part, this brain waves. Our brain operates in various frequencies. When you're now listening to me speaking, you probably are in a beta state where you are focused now when we are working in our day-to-day life. We are attentive. We probably are operating in beta state. We are awake fully. While this is neither positive or negative, it helps us to operate in an awake state. But most of us, we are operating in the high beta state. Somebody comes and cuts you off in traffic, you move into high beta stress. You are continuing to think about that incident, continue to think about what will happen to me, what will boss say, continue to stay in that high beta state. That stress, of course, leads to many health conditions. What happens when we practice meditation? We slowly move from state of beta to alpha state. These are slower brain frequencies. The alpha frequency helps us to be a lot more positive, more relaxed, but more importantly, a learning state. We are able to absorb more. You've finished your meditation, you probably are more into alpha state. That's why meditators says, I can learn more. 70-year-old, 80 years old, age doesn't matter. People start learning more things. Chandra Pulmarseti, the founder and my mentor, Udhasya Quantum Foundations, his mother, at the age of 70, she started learning music. Because meditation helps us to move into alpha state. Of course, many have experienced this already. When you wake up or just about to sleep, if you have good sleep, you typically move into this alpha state. A lot of people, you would have heard about this. You get up early, your parents would have told you, get up early, you study, you'll learn more. Because that is our natural state when we have no thought. Meditation helps us to move this naturally. A great book to understand this is called Mind to Matter by Dawson Church. When we move to alpha state, we start learning, but there is better states that we access with meditation too. Next, or the other state that we also go into is called the theta frequencies, theta waves. These theta waves are slower, but also helps us to bring a lot of creative insights to our solutions. How many have felt you had some problem at work or problem that you were deeply thinking, go to sleep, next day morning, suddenly you have ideas. Because when we go into theta states, there's a lot of creative insights that we can get. Problem that you would have never imagined, you start thinking in a different way. Because this theta waves is very beneficial, and meditation naturally moves us into these states. The third way, which are also beneficial, is called the delta waves. As we go deeper and deeper into meditation, we go into this delta state. Delta state is highly healing. Doctors have always said, you want to heal, have a great sleep. If you don't have good sleep, the deep sleep, non-REM sleep, it's difficult to heal. At these frequencies, we allow our body to heal completely. And the fourth state, friends, and which is unique when you practice meditation, is called the gamma state. This gamma state is a highly flow state. People, how many, you may have heard, or I'm sure others are tell, sincere practitioners of meditations, at times when they want to do something, they are fully engrossed in it. They forget everything. They forget to eat, forget to sleep, because they're so much into flow state. A lot of creative ideas, everything starts flowing. They enjoy it completely. They're so immersed in it. Highly performance, go into that peak performance state called the gamma state. Meditation, you can access this. So friends, some of this we may be occasionally accessing, if you're not practicing meditation, because of course, when you have a good sleep, when you're stress-free sleep, some of these frequencies we naturally experience. But what studies have shown, with meditation, you start naturally accessing these states. Do I have some more time?
Sir, we are up with 6 minutes. You can still go on, sir.
Yes, I just want to cover this important aspect because this is important when we want to understand the science behind meditation and how things happen. We all have experienced or seen this, right? So people who practice meditation regularly are very calm, they experience less stress. How does that happen? Typically, when we get into a stressful state, there's a deadline, that's something that needs to be, something to get done, or there is danger, a customer you have to meet, you have to meet a customer who is very angry. There is a lot of stress. We don't know what is going on. Suddenly, our mind starts behaving like fight or flight mode. We start preparing, brain starts preparing us to either fight or flight. Because in the animals, typically, when there is danger, what happens? You either fight or you run away. That is a fight or a flight mode. Now, this is good when there is a real danger, when there is a dog barking at you, trying to, bite you. There is a physical, real danger. So what happens when that danger is there? You have to either run or fight. And to run or fight, what does it needed? Your muscles needs to be strengthened. You don't have to digest at that time. You don't need to have immunity at that time. But important that you have enough strength to either run or fight. So our brain starts generating a chemical called cortisol, the hormone cortisol, which builds a lot of strength to our muscles. A lot of blood flow goes into these muscles. Now, when the danger is past, our natural state would be to move back to our normal state where you move away from the fight or flight mode. But as I said, we start continuing to ruminate on those incidents. We continue to be on that high beta stress or that fight or flight mode because we continue to have these negative and repetitive thought, and we continue to be in the negative state, stressful state. So what happens? Cortisol continues to stay in the body. If that happens, a lot of our conditions like immunity goes down because at that point in time, it is meant to be like that. You don't need to have digestion. You don't need to have immunity. You don't need to fight diseases at that time. Now, with meditation, what happens? Something called parasympathetic nervous systems, which is meant to bring back the balance in our body, gets activated. We stop thinking about that incident and we go back to that normal state. The parasympathetic nervous system gets activated and we go back to our normal mode, which brings back immunity. The thymus gland, which is responsible, starts working properly. Our digestion starts going back to normal state. Feel-good chemical starts getting produced, like oxytocin, dopamine. All of these feel-good chemicals starts getting produced when you start practicing meditation. So friends, there's so much of study. Because all of this is important to understand that meditation, how meditation helps transform us physically. But end of the day, the practice is what is important. People like me who were analytical, understanding this helped to cross that analytical barrier. There is so much of research. Best thing to do is start reading more books. You can get over this. Great talking to you today. Are there any questions? Of course, you're open and talk.
Yes. Thank you so much for actually giving us the neuroscience behind the meditation practice. That is so very important because most of us are looking for that reasoning, for that analytical reasoning. Why should we meditate, especially for young minds where they are not really ready for meditation? Something like this, the studies done scientifically, the research done scientifically, how it benefits in improving the brain and the body is so very important for us to come into meditation. Thank you so much, Rakesh sir, for taking us through this very important neuroscience part of the meditation. And also, as you said, like, once we start meditating, the neurocortex starts thickening, especially. And you said that it's not just the studies done, but the practice is so important. Any of these, the researchers done on meditation, they have done it on people who have practiced it at least for 8 weeks. So it is very, very important to stick on to the practice. Only then we can see some of the changes. And as you said, the the neurocortex, the gray matter, starts increasing in the brain, especially interestingly, brain is the part which consumes the most of the energy in the body. This is the organ which consumes maximum energy in the body, and only time it takes rest is not even during sleep, but only when we meditate. Only when we meditate, the brain gets into that rest mode where it can rejuvenate itself and rebuild and increase the gray matters. Such an important topic that we covered today. Thank you so much for covering it, Rakesh sir. And before even getting into the Q&A and opening it for the participants, I have a few questions to you personally to understand, because you are a tech person, and you have been at a very young age, you have made a decision to actually get into the stream of meditation and spiritual life, um, and take it as a full-time thing. So what really made you to take this up full-time, giving up your corporate job?
One thing was what I realized is a part of, and everybody who sincerely practice meditation is finding a purpose, why we do what we do. Everybody has a purpose. When I started practicing this meditation, I realized this is something that I have always wanted to do. I found that this simple practice, it can bring in so much of benefit to me. In fact, the first thing after the 40-day program that I did was did a 21-day program for my team. I have absolutely no idea about any of this. Only thing that I knew was this meditation technique useful. I hadn't done so much of my research, hadn't understood so much of science, but I realized if I can benefit, my team can benefit. If my team benefits, every one of us will benefit. With that intention, I just did that program and it felt so good. Then, of course, the foundation, the Buddha Seva Quantum Foundation, gave that opportunity, because Chandra always talk about it. You want to progress, you do meditation, you do wisdom, but be with the company of the fellow meditators, because that will help you progress more. That's all it is. And I decided, okay, this is it. So if I have to learn more, you have to grow more, I have to be part of this. That's how I started. It's been such a great journey.
Wonderful.
Of course, it doesn't matter that it's not that we have to give up our day work, right? In fact, my inspiration to start this company, which I always had wanted to start a company, that got inspired by what I saw the benefits of meditation. That's
Yes. So that's so inspiring that, seeing the benefits of meditation, and in just 40 days, you decided to get into the practice and spread the meditation in your company itself. That's so inspiring. So, and also, I really thank Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation for coming up with such scientific studies and taking it to corporates and bringing them into meditation. Such a wonderful work that they've been doing. I'm really inspired, and I always keep attending their sessions, and it's wonderful to be a part of it. And one more thing is that you said that you have started a business, like not a business. You have become an entrepreneur and building meditation technology, right? Coming up with apps for meditation and all. So, using this technology, how do you see the world getting spiritualized with the latest things that are coming up?
so what happens, and of course, Zoom itself is a technology. Right? Earlier, there used to be physical sessions. People had to go there to a physical center to learn and practice meditation. Now, with the Zoom, you can reach more people. But what we realized is the technology can be used in a much more way. A lot of people want to have these answers. We need to have live sessions. We need to have live teachers. Now, with technology, so much of things can be done. Where sitting here or just doing this program, somebody in Chile, somebody somewhere in the corner of this world can start using this technology. They may not know English, but they can start understanding. We can create technology where anybody can start using it. So the scaling of this whole spreading of meditation is very, very, very possible with the technology. And when I spoke about the purpose, we use our unique talent for everybody's good. That is one definition of finding your purpose. So I realize technology is a great way where we can scale. Today we have this Buddha CEO app. Anybody can download, start joining the live sessions, or also start practicing meditation. But more importantly, as we build this technology, get personalized recommendations. What to do next? Each of us are different. Technology can help you personalize your journey. That's how we see meditation growing using technology.
So thank you so much, sir. We really thank you on behalf of IFSS and PSSM Global for taking out your time, for sharing this very important knowledge with us, and taking us through the logical part of the meditation, science of meditation. So now I open the platform for the questions from the participants. If participants have any questions, you can raise your hands, ask to Rakesh sir, and clear your doubts about your practices. So let's, you can even type it in the chat. So by the time we get the questions, sir, also, can you please also tell us a little more about Buddha CEO and the quantum coherence technology that you are involved in?
Yeah, the Buddha Quantum Foundation is actually vision of Patriji in 2015. Say that meditation has to reach leaders, government officials, and educational heads. Because when leaders practice meditation, the community, the entire organization transforms. Become more compassionate leaders. They have a lot of resources. They can bring in a lot more change, positive change. That was a vision of Patriji in 2015, and he coined this Buddha CEO at that time. Now, in 2020, Brahmarshi, the founder of Buddhaji Panda Foundation, he, along with Vani Madam and Lawrence Guihard Jolie, been very, very successful corporate professionals, started this foundation to bring this. The vision is to make every leader a meditator, bring the scientific wisdom of meditation to everybody so that they become a compassionate leaders and a purpose-driven leaders. That is our mission, and we do many, many programs, public programs, corporate programs, where we inculcate this scientific, spiritual scientific mindset. Everybody. Been very, very happy doing it. More than 1 lakh people have personally, individually benefited, and many more, of course, indirectly have benefited.
Wonderful, sir. And yeah, I attended the conference that happened in Delhi. It was such a grand happening, and you know, it's taking the meditation is going global with this app technology and the vision and the purpose. As you said, if we stick on to the purpose, it's so fulfilling and gives meaning to our life. So happy to have you, sir. And also, we appreciate if you can suggest and bring more people, speakers for our platform. It would be great to see more people and speakers from Buddha CEO and listen to the science, the spiritual science of meditation, sir.
Wonderful. Yes, absolutely. Great to hear so much of work being done. Patriji's vision has always been there. So many people have transformed themselves, and then you take it. So much of freedom to create these programs. Wonderful work. And I feel really happy to be here. So many people actually taking up meditation. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So personally, I have one question. You just made us go through this benefits, how the brain changes through the practice of meditation. So it is actually seeding a belief that meditation is going to help us in a much way, where our physical body is going to be transforming, and also not just the physical body, but our mindset, our belief systems are also going to be reprogrammed with the practice of meditation. It sounds very magical. It sounds very miraculous. But when we actually jump into the practice, we see sometimes, we lose the interest of being regular to the practice. It's not so interesting, and we don't really see any significant changes happening. So when people face this kind of challenges, what is your suggestion to them, sir?
Most important part of this is to be with group. Because when you start practicing in a group, of course, there's energy is different. More importantly, you start getting inspired from different people. Have a group. I mean, of course, today we have these WhatsApp groups, which helps us, even though we are not living together, we can be part of that community. But being in a group really, really helps. I used to never open my mind for the first few weeks, the sessions, but I was always listening to others saying, I healed my body. The point at which I realized I healed my migraine was when somebody said they healed their migraine. Until that point, I couldn't even relate that. I used to suffer so many years, but when that person said I healed my migraine, I realized last few weeks I have also not had this migraine incident. Otherwise, I would have every other week. So listening to others, being part of that group really helps to motivate ourselves. Of course, reading books give you more knowledge, so that will inspire you to do more. Listen to stories, listen to experiences of others. That will really help.
Very true, sir, because we relate to the experiences of other people, because we keep thinking that, I'm only the person who's suffering and I'm not seeing any results. But when we listen to the experiences, we relate to people and their stories, and that brings a validation for us, and we start believing and practicing and sticking on to the regular practice. So thank you so much, Rakesh sir, today for giving your time, your presence. It was wonderful listening to you. And we have a raised hand by Sam. Can you please unmute him? Hi, Sam.
Hi. Hello, Rakesh. This is
Yes.
Sampath.
Yes, Sampath.
So wonderful session. This is the first time I'm listening to your session. Though I know you personally from the last 3-4 years as a Buddha CEO person. So one of the pyramid masters had told me that Rakesh speaks slow. He's a slow speaker. That's what they told. So I was like, okay, on the day 2, you want to get Rakesh? I said, no, he's from Buddha CEO. I know Rakesh personally. So let me see why he's slow. But trust me, today I joined only to see you as a speaker rather than the subject. But I understood that the spaces which you use in between your words, very few people know the importance of the spaces between those words. Every time you give a space, you draw more and more attention, you make the participant more involved, and the subject is grasped more in a more effective way. According to me, you're a wonderful speaker, and I'm going to learn this from you, Rakesh, giving more spaces while delivering the subject. I used to appreciate that in Osho, in Patri sir. And in this generation, I think you are one of the speakers who understood the importance of that space between the words. I just wanted to personally appreciate you, and I am inspired by that side of your speech. Thank you so much. Wonderful subject, otherwise.
Thank you. I give credit to only meditation.
Always.
I've never, if before meditation somebody was tell me this, I would have laughed.
Correct.
I was not a speaker like this. Definitely not.
Right.
Thank you.
Wonderful,
Yes.
Rakesh. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you for actually highlighting that the importance of space while we speak, and today we could actually sense it. And so we have a question in the chat from Rajiv Kumar. He's asking that, is there any scientific evidence that meditation can change expression of genes, which is epigenetics?
Read this book called Mind to Matter. Definitely a lot of studies that is going on. In fact, there's one study which said people who had genes of diabetes, right, who were been prone to meditation, diabetes. Two groups. One group which actually started becoming, with elevated emotions, they started enjoying their life. The genes for expressing diabetes was less expressed. Our thoughts and feelings actually expresses the genes that we want to, that's there in our body. Having a gene doesn't necessarily mean that you will have that condition. Of course, there are studies which shows that gene is expressed based on our thoughts and feelings. And of course, we know meditation is definitely transforming our thoughts.
Yes, very true, sir. Very true. And also, scientific evidences, if they're referring to, I think they can also look into the work done by Dr. Bruce Lipton. He's a great cell biologist, and he has specially done work on epigenetics, where he says we can overwrite the genes. The environment is which is actually controlling the genes. It's not the genes that control us. So if you want to have more knowledge and to know more about the scientific studies done by it, you can always look into the work of Dr. Bruce Lipton as well, along with the Mind to Matter. of Dawson Church.
Biology of Belief is a great book. Very, very simple to understand.
Right.
A lot of
Correct. And thank you, sir. And also we have Vikal Gupta raising the hand. Can you please unmute him? Yes,
Hi,
Vikal.
good morning, Rakesh ji. It was a fantastic session, and it has, enlightened a lot. So we talked repeatedly about that healing part. So like you healed yourself from the migration, and many other people had the experience of healing certain diseases and all. So my question is for me, and for the benefit of the others also. When you have to heal something, it is a simple, do the meditation, or you have to take some affirmation or imbibe something before getting into meditation for that particular thing.
can be both. For many kids, like for me, I didn't have to do anything specific. My migraine, my bronchitis, in fact, that was more of a byproduct for me. So meditation by itself heals many conditions. For some, and of course, there are some deeper healings that happens, which is based on the deep subconscious mind programming. Affirmations definitely help. Definitely an add-on, but meditation by itself heals many patients naturally. That helps.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Rakesh.
Yes, thank you, sir. And we have one more raised hand, Manam Surendra. Can you please unmute him?
First of all, good morning to all. Thanks for giving the opportunity for all the team members. This is regarding like whatever the Rakesh have told, right? See, even I have attended the neuro-linguistic program in NLP. So that time I used to see this kind of things. They can heal many things by using the subconscious memory actually. So it is really going to help actually when you continuously practice. When we practice like 1 week and we can say that it's not working out. But if you practice it at least like 2 months or 3 months continuously, using your subconscious memory, automatically will start reacting, and soon you will get recover actually. This is I saw many programs are but I never practiced it seriously because my shift timings are like sir told, right? My shift timings like 6 to 3. Again, I'm every day waking up 5 o'clock. It's like hardly 3 hours, 4 hours sleep. But initially it was very difficult to me. But now I'm able to manage that 3 hours, 4 hours sleep. But whenever I have time, maybe morning times, I will sleep 2, 3 hours. Then I'm able to manage it. This is happened through because of the subconscious memory. I reprogrammed it actually. So that is happen when we program, like when we practice continuously, then only it is going to be happen. It is not like 1 day, 2 days practice. Like as Sir said, like at least 6 weeks we need to practice it.
Very true, very true. Thank you so much for sharing your experience and the benefit that you have actually tasted through the practice. Thank you, Surendra sir.
Thank you all.
So I hope all the questions are answered. So yes, thank you, sir. Thank you, participants. Thank you, everybody. And especially thanks to Rakesh, sir, for sharing this neuroscience with us. And I appreciate your presence and your presentation. Thank you so much, sir. And thanks to all the participants. Yes, sir.
Thank you. One thing I just want to add, we are here in Pyramid Valley, Relations. Want to deepen your practice, keep attending some such energy centers, because there's so much of learnings that can happen in just one day when you hear. That's a very important aspect of inspiring yourself to practice. Yes. Thank you for this opportunity, and some others. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yes, Pyramid Valley, it's all prep for the Buddha Purnima program, and that's the place where I connected to Ana-Pana-Sati, and a beautiful place to actually retreat from all our general activities and be in the peaceful and energetic waves. So thank you so much, sir, and thanks to all the participants. We have gone through the science part of the meditation, how it is going to help us change our brain, our belief systems. So it was wonderful listening to Rakesh sir today. So let's meet again tomorrow with another beautiful topic and meditation practice. And tomorrow being the Buddha Purnima, let's come with gratitude to the great master Siddhartha Gautama Buddha. So see you all tomorrow, and thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
Recording stop.